Hi guys, and welcome back to another Comic Mr. Rob YouTube video. As usual, thank you so much for tuning in and stopping by on the channel to check out what random stuff I get to talk about. Today's going to be a different video. I've been telling you guys in the past couple videos that I wanted to start doing some comic book spotlight videos where I start to go through my my collection. Now, I don't have the largest collection in the world, that's for sure. I probably have, from what I'm looking at right now, probably like 6 short boxes full of comic books. And then I have, of course, as you would have seen in my past videos, a couple of bookshelves full of displays, which are just really cool covers and really cool key issues that I want to look at every day. Those are on my shelves, which we'll end up having to dive into those fully as well. And you're probably wondering, why are you looking at these random books? Well, these are just some of my more recent and more favorite books, and I thought that would make a really cool backdrop for the video that we're going to do today, because I'm going to show you stuff that I have completed, so to speak. So these are sets. Now, these are usually volume 1s or their first solo titles, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a completionist in the fact of I have to have every volume of the character ever released. Sometimes I will only collect volume 1. Sometimes I will collect, volumes 2 or 3, just depending upon where that character resonated for me personally. But yeah, I figured I grabbed a random short box off the wall, and I figured I'd go through it, show you guys some cool books. This ended up being one of the better short boxes, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So we're starting off with a banger, for sure. Again, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you hear me yawn a couple times in this video, it is because it is currently 5:30 in the morning, and I'm filming this before work. So let's dive into this short box. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because it is a full short box. I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. But I'm going to kind of just, I guess, set them like this. Try and avoid that glare a little bit. Okay, so this is a volume 1 set of The Man Called Nova, also later known as, or currently known as, the Human Rocket. Yeah, so we're gonna, how should I do this? Probably put them back in the, okay, yeah, here's what we'll do. Perfect, good thinking, Rob. Thanks, guys, for helping me. Here we go. So issue number 1. Let you guys look a little bit at each one. Issue number 2. So Nova's actually pretty high up there on my list. I know that they're gonna do a movie with him, or I think it's a TV show actually. That's a cool cover. They're supposed to do a TV show with Nova, but I think they're gonna use like the Sam Alexander Nova, not the Rich Nova or Richard Nova or Dick Nova. Yeah, I think they're going to use Sam Alexander, which is fine. He's cool too. I think they could have both existed. I don't think you had to kill the OG off the way that you killed the OG, but, well, spoiler if you haven't read the books. But, the Nova Corps in general, not just Nova, but the Nova Corps in general plays a pretty significant role in the Marvel Universe, and especially Guardians of the Galaxy. And Nova's a pretty powerful character. Definitely a kind of swoop in and save the day kind of guy with what he has capabilities of. And so I do think that there is just a lot of room to utilize him more than they have. And maybe the show will change that. I'm definitely going to watch it. I think it got cleared to be filmed. I don't think it's actually got like a release date yet. But that's a cool cover. Look at that. That's awesome. Felt like a double grab there. Yeah, these older sets, I'm not gonna say old, but older sets are definitely probably my bread and butter. This is like this to me, when I think comic book, these are like what comic books look like in my mind, right? When someone explains comic books, I would say comfortably 60s, 70s, and maybe early to mid 80s. I do have some modern day stuff, so I mean, like, I'm not going to be a hater, but this is what I look for when I walk into a comic book shop. This is what I look for when I'm searching around online or see something on Facebook Marketplace. This is kind of what catches my eye, so to speak. And I mean, I'm curious to know what the audience is. I mean, I watch a lot of comic book YouTube, so like I kind of sort of get an understanding. But I am just curious, and there you go. Final issue. Cool issue. And that is all of volume 1 of the Man Called Nova. Let me grab this next set. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what you guys are interested in. Like, are you guys more modern collectors? You guys like to go to New Comic Book Day and pick up the variants and stuff? I have a few ratio covers and a few variant covers because I'm a sucker for artwork for sure. But I definitely wouldn't say, I would say like 85% of my collection is probably silver, bronze with like a sprinkle of copper. And then like, I don't know, I probably have a good like 10 or 15% of modern day books. So this is another one that I wish they did more with. This is Omega the Unknown. Super cool character, really kind of funky comic book story too. Not funky, but just like your, classic superhero stuff. But I mean, they were all trying to be different back then because, your superheroes are starting to become more and more saturated around this time. Like, not saturated, but there's a lot of characters that are trying to hit main stage. So everybody's trying to be a little different, and that's why you get some really cool, funky, awesome little runs like this. Big fan of this this whole it's a cool Hulk cover. Big fan of this run too. Every time I see this guy, I think of that was it Robot Chicken, or was it just like a random meme? The meme about him. If you want to look it up, Electro Mean or whatever. It's kind of rated R, but it's really funny. But yeah, this is again just super cool artwork, super cool covers, very vibrant colors. Kind of what screams comic book to me, especially from when I was younger. This was definitely what I was looking for. And coming off of my last video, just to pop this in there, I had made a bunch of bigger purchases due to FOMO of New York Comic Con. And I had a couple people comment that they also were experiencing that very same thing. And I thought that was really funny because I thought I was saying something really stupid, but everybody seemed to agree. And so, good on you guys for getting out there. Oh, this next set's kind of large. Hang on. Well, you got a little sneak peek. New York Comic Con. Yeah, I watched probably 30 videos, a couple live streams, was on some Whatnot streams as well that were happening while they were there. Instagram Live, all kinds of fun stuff. And it definitely makes you want to, I mean, it's a real thing. It makes you want to get out there and spend all of your money on comic books because you feel like everybody else is doing it. And it's definitely like communal. We should all spend money communal. But it was really cool. And there was a lot of cool new exclusives that released, actually. Speaking of the modern day stuff that I am curious to check out. This is the full run of the first solo in title. This is not anywhere near his first story or solo stories, but this is his first solo title of The Thing. It's clobbering time. One of my favorite characters, actually. I've told you guys multiple times in past videos. That's a cool little Black Bolt cover. I've told you guys multiple times in videos that I am a big fan of the strong guys, right? The classic strong guy superhero. I know, super unique and not boring at all in the slightest. That is kind of off-centered. There we go. you know, Thing is up there pretty high. Hulk, Colossus. If you want to bring in a couple villains, I do enjoy Juggernaut quite a bit. Never been a huge Superman guy, actually. He's a strong dude, but he's not. He just looks like a normal dude. I like the guys who look like they would be strong, and that's. I mean, you're covered in rocks, man. You're pretty strong. And Hulk is gigantic green monster, and Colossus is giant steel, and you could even go as far as saying like Rhino from the Spider-Man series. He's kind of a big and strong bad guy. Look at that Doom up there. That's cool. Nice books, man. This whole run, this was actually a very good comic book series to read. I enjoyed reading this one. Now, yeah, that's a shocker. I read all of my comic books. I haven't gotten through every single one of them yet because sometimes I bite off more than I can chew, but I would say I'm probably about 80% read every book in my collection. And that says a lot because some people just buy these for covers or they put them in capsules. Sorry. CGC stuff. I say that sort of sarcastically because I'm not a CGC fan. I definitely like to open up and read my comic books. I like to experience them. I want my kids to read these. And I understand putting them in top loaders because it's pretty secure, bag and boarded and then top loader. You'd have to really try and mess it up. But I feel like it's easier to sell things for CGC. I feel like that's just like sole purpose is to guarantee that you're for sure getting the quality and authentic book that you are putting money into. So I've bought CGC stuff before. I just crack them all out. There's no need to keep them in their slabs. I know that quote unquote increases value, but see, look at that. That's an awesome cover right there. I just truly enjoy reading, putting my hands on them, flipping through the pages, and they also take up way less space. That is a really cool cover. I left that one up there a little longer because, like I said, I like the super strength characters. That one's hard to grab. There we go. Little motorcycle character here. But I would be curious to know in the comments down below if you made it this far into the video. I know we're at 12 minutes already, 13 roughly. Longer video than what I normally do. What are some of your favorite characters? You know, what do you enjoy? What do you read? Is what you read different from what characters you like? I found that's quite true in this community. Is people usually like reading some of the horror books or the darker books, but when you ask them about like characters and artwork, they usually switch over to that's an awesome Miss Marvel cover right there. And then there it is, the big boy, She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. Yeah. Cool. So that is the Thing. Let's see what else we got. We'll do these at the same time because they kind of branch off of... They're the same character, it's just 2 different volumes, and they're relatively quick. And then we'll be towards the end of the books. So Human Torch, again, a pretty cool character. Definitely up there in my top, we'll say top 15 characters. Yeah, I know that's weird to say, but there's so many of these characters, and I love them all. I'm an avid consumer of comic book content. What we're going through right now is his first solo title. And then I think I have volume, I don't know if it's volume 2 or volume 3 behind it. I think it's a little bit newer. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely like a 80s or 90s books. Here we go. A couple of cool little Human Torch. His covers are super cool all the time, just because red's my favorite color and he's a majority orange and red. This one you guys would have probably seen 100 million times, but we'll show it anyway. These are quick. This is the Venom Lethal Protector series. 1 through 6, of course. We're kind of starting to scoot through some of these more popular ones that you guys have seen time and time again. Again, the purpose of this is people were wanting to know more about the collection and see some cool books and some cool covers, and I am happy to oblige. This is actually a really cool set. Not a lot of people do all 4 of these, but this is the first solo title, Deadpool. Super cool character, definitely a different character, and definitely hot on the radar for most people right now. I feel like every time I turn on anything, Ryan Reynolds and info about Deadpool is still in the news. And the movie, of course, was very, very successful, so it would make sense that is the thing. All right, another little short series. This is The Punisher. Again, pretty solid character, a lot of people's favorite. And I can't blame him, honestly. He's got a super cool story. Punisher books are some of the best books on the planet to read. There's like the superhero-ness behind it that we all love, but there's also kind of like some grim and some darkness in it. And who doesn't love that? So that's the first Punisher series here. Where are we at? Okay, we'll do these next. And then I think we got 1 or 2 more after this. So we can try and do sub 20-minute video. This is kind of a cool Uncanny Origins thing. This is kind of like some, this is a weird set, right? So it's like character highlights of individual copies of, like, they choose Cyclops for the first one, right? But I thought this was very fun. That's a really cool Quicksilver cover. Definitely modern age books in my eyes. And was really a fun story for most of them. It's just kind of like little tiny single issue superhero stories, like an episode of a TV show or something, which I thought was like super cool how they did it. And a lot of these characters are the super popular, super mainstream characters. For example, his movie actually is out now. Nightcrawler, but older. That's cool. Big Nightcrawler guy too. Let's see, Storm. Awesome. Black Cat. Nice. Black Knight. Mr. Doctor Strange. Mr. Steven. Oh, lost my spot here. Hang on. Uno Memento. There we go. So the thing about these short boxes, unpredictable. Daredevil, you get to look at the, whoa. You get to look at the 4 times Daredevil. Pretty cool. Iron Fist, I think this is the final issue. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Next up on the agenda, I'm going to throw all these up at the same time. They are not part of the same series, but they are the same character. And some of these, of course, you've already seen more recently. These front 2 were definitely a more recent pickup. This is the Future Imperfect series, which first appearance of Maestro, super kind of cool storyline too. Artwork is iffy on it, but storyline's great. And then World War Hulk. I really like this story too, which is why I got it. It's okay, artwork, very modern, like I said. I just don't like when things get, in my eyes, they try and make it like the blend of realism to truly a fake comic book character starts to get blurred a little bit. They're trying to make it look more real, like a realistic comic book. And I know that's kind of the point of progression, but I love the old school stuff. That, however, is a really cool Sentry cover. And he's confirmed, I think. They're going to do something with him in the MCU. And then I think this is the final. Yeah, no, this is issue number 1 right here. I did that one backwards, but that's Worldbreaker. That's super cool, too. I hope they do more with him, too. So that is the first short box out of the comic book spotlight. If you guys have questions or you enjoy this series, please let me know. I am still trying to figure out the navigational waters of YouTube to figure out what guys want to see and what guys don't want to see. If you want me to continue this series, I definitely will. Please leave all feedback down below. Again, this has been Comic Mr. Rob. I appreciate you guys, and always, peace and love.